foggy ass phone.
Nah,
You need to clean the lens on that.
Is it the front facing one?
You know what I'm saying? You gotta get it crispy like Money Lynn.
Oh yeah, this is. I ain't put it on.
You know what? We gotta start doing this correctly because on television you're not really supposed to wear white. You know?
Why not?
You're not supposed to.
It looks good. White always looks good to me.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Money Lynn, and you are, guess what? Here for another episode of the Money Lynn Friends Show. And before I introduce our guest for the day, I just want to shout out our sponsor. Our sponsor today is Jesus. Hey, thank you, Jesus, for sponsoring this episode. I appreciate you. I love you for all that you do. Through you, I can do all things. I can do all things through Christ. Amen. Who strengthens me, you, us, all right? And my distinguished guest today is none other than the Mr. Haron Hargrave.
Yes. Drum roll, drum. Boom, boom, boom.
And Haron is like my industry little brother, okay? The one you just want to slap the crap out of sometimes. You know what I mean? Haron is the, are you the founder?
I am the founder. Yeah.
Haron is the founder of H2O.
Yeah, H2O Basketball.
Go ahead, introduce yourself. Tell the people who you are.
Ballin for Peace. I'm the founder of H2O Basketball, Ballin for Peace, and our newest venture is NYC Elite 32.
What is that?
We do our annual high school classics.
Oh, yes.
Tournaments at Springfield Gardens High School, 32 high schools. And we're branching out with that. We're going to be doing a lot more like AAU style tournaments as well too. Announcement that I planned on making here, but on June 22nd, we're doing 64 teams.
What?
At Queens College. So we
I'm gonna take them vendors back.
Yes.
Sure.
64 teams at June 22nd.
June 22nd, okay.
That's at the week after Ballin for Peace.
The week after Ballin for Peace.
At Queens College, yep. So
okay.
That's our new venture, Elite 32. We've actually been doing it for the last 3-4 years, but we really dived into it. It's under the umbrella of Ballin for Peace, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
For those who don't know you, tell them about yourself. Okay. Tell them who you are, who you were before Ballin for Peace. Because I don't even know who you were before Ballin for Peace.
Yeah. A lot of people know me for my work with Ballin for Peace, my community work. But I am before Ballin for Peace. I used to play. I played Division I ball. Before that, I played high school ball. Right.
Okay.
Of course. Right. So I did the steps. Right. I'm from Queens, New York. Born and raised, South Side to be exact, South Side, Jamaica, Queens. I grew up in that era where, you had to put up or shut up, right? And I put up. I had to do what I had to do. Basketball was my out, right? So basketball was my lifeline. So I played basketball. I seen the drug dealers. I seen the people who they, we weren't supposed to be around, and but I didn't want to go to that path. So I kept it straight and narrow, and I did what I had to do. So
what made you keep it straight and narrow?
I didn't care for those other things, man. Like even smoking, I didn't smoke. I just started drinking like my senior year in college. I had my first drink.
Really?
At my senior game, like I didn't.
So you a whole nerd.
Yeah, kind of, right?
I love it.
I loved basketball, and basketball kept me in that space of just doing what, keeping me in a straight line, right? My mother used to run basketball tournaments and things like that. She also was a teacher, and I saw that, and parenting is very important, especially when you have somebody who, whether they're doing right or wrong,
right?
You see that, right?
Just having the guy.
Yeah, just having that guy. Yep.
So,
so elementary school, I went to PS30. Junior high school, I went to 72. Lloyd Banks went to my middle school as well, too.
Okay.
Shout out to Banks. But
he's a Taurus. He's a Taurus.
So am I.
Taurus,
So,
yeah.
and then Also, then I went from junior high school 72 to Campus Magnet. It used to be called Andrew Jackson. And then from there, I went to college in Chaffee and Rancho Cucamonga. Then I went to Sacramento State. Mike Bibby just signed to be the head coach at Sacramento State just now.
Oh, okay.
So he signed to be the Division I coach there at Sacramento State. So let's go Hornets. But basketball is what drove me, and still does, right? So my background playing in street ball got the name H2O from hooping and things like that. But,
why did you get the name H2O?
Because my jump shot's pure like water.
Gosh,
yeah,
you know what? So, I don't even know why.
I mean, it's the truth, right? I'm just telling the truth. And Whoopi Goldberg got to see that as I hit the game winner.
Oh, you sure did. I saw that
yes.
game.
So
game, you know what?
It's competitive.
If this wasn't a one-woman show, I would include that highlight. You know what? Maybe I'll put it in a slide.
Yeah,
do you have it?
Of course I do.
Oh, yeah, you got to send it to me so I can put it in a
So
slide.
Yep.
That one, you did that.
Yeah,
you did that. Yeah, you did that. You did that. You did that.
So the things just keep, having a name and people knowing your name, and then sometimes you gotta still show up, right?
Yeah.
If you're gonna step on that court and your name is H2O, you gotta make shots.
You gotta make shots, okay?
I made the biggest one, right? So
yeah, you did.
But just my journey. That's who I am. Growing up in Southside, it wasn't the easiest. My mother was a teacher, a high school teacher. 5 of us raising 5 kids and stuff.
5 of you. So where did you fall in line?
I was the second to last.
Second to last. So you have is your brother?
Yeah.
Your brother in Boston?
Yeah, he's in Boston.
Is younger than you.
Oh,
okay. I always thought he was older.
Than me, yeah, but
okay.
He's more mature than me. He's a good guy, but me and him grew up together playing ball. We've been traveling the world doing 3-on-3. We still be out there playing.
Yeah, the tournaments.
Yeah, we the old guys now still hooping and stuff, but we get it done.
The old guys that don't want to put the ball down,
Yeah, that's us.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So then, how did Ballin for Peace come about?
So what happened with Ballin for Peace? I always did like give backs in my community. Me and my boy Dave Buckner, we started something called Queens Week, right? Well, actually, it was Queens Day, where we did one day where we did a basketball tournament. We gave out $1,000.
What?
But that was cool.
Let me get a team together.
So we didn't really know the first, and I like to tell the story. The first event that we did it in Montebello Park. We didn't get a permit. We didn't know what that was even about. We just did the event. We went there. We had a piece of paper. We used to keep the score on a piece of paper.
Are you serious?
I swear to God. We had Graham. He was the ref. He was the hood ref. We had Graham come out. And,
who's Graham?
God rest his soul. He passed away. His name was Graham. He was a referee local in Queens, and he reffed all the games. It was insane.
Wow.
We used to keep the score, the clock on our phones or our watch. And game was 21 by 1s and 2s.
What is one?
Okay,
talk to me as if I don't know.
A layup was worth 1 point, and if you shoot a 3-pointer, we counted it as 2 points.
Oh.
So it was 1s and 2s, game 21, or whoever's winning after.
Or whoever gets to 21 first.
21 first, or whoever's winning after the 20-minute time limit.
I understood.
So that's the game that we created. Our Queens Week game is the Ultimate 21. That's what we call it.
How long ago was that?
That was
the first game.
That was maybe 2008.
What?
So I've been doing this
17 years.
Sheesh, yeah, 17.
You are 17, right?
Yeah,
How old are you?
Double up my age, add it up, so we did that. We were young, we were babies doing that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
What's up.
This is before I went to, this is right after college or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how long between your first game until it became like an official 501c3?
So when I did
is it 501c3, 501c?
It's 501c3.
I said it first.
Yeah,
so 501c3. For those who don't know, a 501c3 is your official certification to be a nonprofit organization. Yeah.
So when I did Queens Week, we didn't even have, again, when I first started, we just did it. Right, and then we kept doing it for a couple years, and then
we did.
We did it for years, man.
Wow, no permits either.
No, after the first one, we got permits. But we didn't know the proper way. Like, we had the DJ come out. We had no noise permit, nothing. And they re-rocked out and did it that first year. But then the
police didn't bother you or anything?
Nah, they didn't bother us. You know. And then we did it that second year at Springfield Park. And then we kind of did that moving forward. But then we stopped. Me and Buck stopped doing that. And when the Mike Brown situation, the Eric Gardner situation happened, I started Ballin for Peace.
Wow.
Yeah, Ballin for Peace. So that was like 2014. So like 7 years after we started Queens Week.
Yeah.
Picked up with Ballin for Peace. And then that's when we had it at Baruch College. That was the first game. And the date was January 24th, 2015.
Okay.
We did it during the winter time. It was cold out there during that time, and in June. But again, I didn't really know how to really do it the first couple of years. But we had over 2,000 people come out to that.
That is awesome.
Yeah, but I was promoting it like I was an independent rapper or something like that.
You know what? You know, because if you don't believe in it, nobody else will.
That's a fact. That's
okay.
A fact. Yeah.
So how did you promote it?
It was a guy named Arcus, right? He used to have tickets.
Okay.
So I used to order the tickets from Arcus. I've never said this story though. But I used to order the tickets. It was like college tickets and everything. Pick up like 2,000 of them. Me and my guy Punch Dollar. Punch.
Yes,
my boy Punch Dollar.
How's he doing?
He's doing good. He's out in Louisiana. He's out there with Shreveport.
With 50. Oh, yes.
Doing that with 50
because I know him from This Is 50.
Yeah. So,
I like to hear it when people are still with the same team.
100%. That's my guy. He's still promoting Ballin for Peace. He was the first ever promoter for Ballin for Peace. We came together with this, me and Punch. I was the basketball guy and he was the promoter. And that's how we kind of did it the first year. And I believe Punch is like he's a dope ass dude, man. Like I love to
he was a team player, very supportive. Was he a DJ also?
No. Oh, you're thinking the other Punch. Punch is a DJ. The other Punch.
Punch. Okay.
And he DJ for Young and May.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I gotta see the other Punch.
Yeah, Punch Dollars. He's from Queens. He's like the J. He used to do these. Shout out to Punch. He used to do these parties when we were like in high school and had everybody come out. He lived in Rochdale area in Queens and all that. So, and it just made sense for him to, be the promoter. He's done it, and him and his cousin, they've always been a part of Ballin for Peace in the back end. But the first year that we did it, got tickets. We giving out tickets. I'm going to parties. I'm seeing my boy DJ Just, DJ G Money, all of these guys. We going to all the parties that they out at and giving out tickets. Telling people about the game. Really put that legwork in, and then social media wasn't as big then.
Yeah, it wasn't.
So,
I mean, we had Instagram, but it
wasn't. But it wasn't
like that. Did you do flyers?
We did flyers.
Paper flyers.
We did paper flyers. I was on Facebook with it. But it was more hand to hand. You want tickets? I'll pull up on you. It was a lot of cash.
So what's the difference between the way you were promoting then and the way you promote it now?
Now it's a lot easier, right? In the sense of, if you want to come, I started the whole support with your purchase. Buy a ticket. A lot of people ask, how can I support you? Buy a ticket. That's the easiest way to support, because if we're not getting grants and funding and sponsorships and all that, a lot of people like to give clothes and things of that nature, like
the uniforms for the games.
We get a lot of that stuff.
The equipment,
they give that, but we need monetary. We need money. Yeah. So a lot of the times, these people give those things, and we kind of move past that space. So now a little bit easier with social media and getting the right people involved with the games, but so honestly, we're promoting and doing stuff like this. You can see me on the Pix 11 and then here.
Well, everybody gonna see you now. Everybody, consider it sold out. Okay? Because they ain't liking, but they watching.
Yeah, a lot of people watch. A lot of people, they'll watch this and we'll collab the post and people will see it. But I'm more of the organic conversations as well too. I've never been really big on doing this and doing it. I hate that. So I'll still come and have a sit down meeting or interview, and we're this is two friends putting it on camera.
Absolutely.
Lynn has for many years been doing the vendors and stuff like that, just been supportive behind the scenes. So like even just checking in, like, yo, how you doing? What's up? Like, you know, like that's been a part. But like you asked, the biggest thing that we've been doing is more social posts. We started the official basketball cards. We did.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We started though, giving everybody individual basketball cards, because me as a basketball player, I know I love to see myself on a card or something like that when we used to do that.
Are you still doing that?
Yeah, we of course.
Oh,
yeah,
that's awesome.
It costs more money like in years past, but now you know, with AI and things like that, it's a lot easier to do a lot of this stuff. But we always wanted to make people feel special. And maybe if you on a main flyer, somebody may not rock with you, and they may not post that, but they'll post their own flyer.
Their individual flyer.
Flyer.
They do that with me in the pop-up shops too, or any of the events that I do.
So
they might not post a group flyer, but if it's them, you know, they're gonna post it. But you know, to their defense, when I post a group flyer on my page, I don't get as much traction. But when I do post the individual flyer,
100%.
It's like, it's up. You know what I mean? People are like, oh, okay, I'm coming. I'm like, it's just weird. You know, it's just weird.
It's people, right? And the more we learn people and how they like to be talked to or pitched to, the better we are. I'm not a promoter, but I call myself like a special event coordinator, right? Because I don't do this all the time, and I don't do it for like to live.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like some people do this, and they got a feed. It's like feeding energy. So when you see me doing something, it's always chill. Like I'm never out of my, you know. I'm
that is so interesting. And you know what? That's kind of why I stopped doing the pop-up shops.
Because
I felt like I was starting with that energy, and I didn't like that space.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Axe and bag. Or, yo, in the potty, there's just a potty.
Yeah. And I was like, you know what? Let me take a break from this. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, when you and we spoke about that too, but when you're doing so much,
you were telling me I was doing them too often.
Let's do it every 3 months, right?
Yeah.
And then you put all your energy into it, and that's kind of what I did. You the one who got me back to doing the events as well too, because when we were in COVID, you're like, you gotta do something, and that's when I started softball.
Yeah.
We started the softball.
Yeah, that was lit.
And it was lit.
That was lit. That was lit. I'm gonna include a slide or a video of that. I have that.
Too. But so that's how we started. And that was the biggest thing, promoting from being in you know what. You know, just being outside. I didn't have to be outside as much. So people don't see me as much, but they know when the event is happening. You know what I'm saying?
Understood.
Yeah.
Tell me, what exactly is the premise behind H2O? Ballin for Peace.
Ballin for Peace. The premise behind Ballin for Peace is our message is peace through sports.
Okay.
Right. This is our way of giving back.
Okay.
Right? We want to do, and it's changed throughout the years as well too. Like you know, it started from like you know all the senseless acts of violence that was going on in our community, and wanting to do something to help stop these things, right?
So when you raise the money, what do you do with the money?
So now what we do with the money, when we first started, we were giving it to other nonprofit organizations, like tacking up, like and giving them. But then I'm like, man, I'm doing all the work. Like, let me just become a nonprofit.
Right, I understand.
So if you saw the first game, it was H2O Basketball presents Ballin for Peace. So Ballin for Peace used to just be a name.
Okay.
And we copyright the name of Ballin for Peace. But then we made it into our nonprofit, and now we give scholarships back to these kids where we want to open up our own building, the Peace Center, powered by Ballin for Peace. So that's what it's going to be. Yeah. So now we can control our own narrative and stuff like that.
I love that. That is awesome.
So with more, we can do more. So we're trying to give out more, raise more money so that we can give out more scholarships for Elite 32 and it's a whole thing with that as well too. Like high school students aren't being recruited to college because of the NIL deals, the name, image, and likeness deals that are happening in the transfer portal. And now that they're paying college players, they're like, why am I going to go to high school, these 17, 18-year-olds, when I can get grown men to play for my program and I can pay them now, openly pay them. So I say college.
Grown men, like, how old can you be? Is it age cap?
There's guys. So after COVID, what happened was they gave people their years back because of COVID, and that kind of ruined the game of college. And then now
because those players had to sit it out.
Yes, so they gave them their years back, like 2 years. So say I graduated at 21 years old.
Right, that's the average.
I was done. I went, did my years, I was finished.
Mm-hmm.
They also took, now they're not counting, when I went to junior college, my 2-year school, they're giving those years back.
So you could, wow, you could have done 4 years in that.
At my Sacramento State. But nowadays I could have, but they're not counting junior college years anymore because that's not the NCAA.
So if you're in high school and you are a top player, you got a lot. The competition is even more stiff.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, you coming in as a baby, and these guys say they go to JUCO for 2 years. Now they're like, okay, whatever. Now I want to go to or I went to prep school and this, that. So a lot of guys are sitting out, and now it doesn't make any sense to rush to the NBA.
Yeah, because you're getting paid in college.
You're getting paid in college, and then 99.9% of the people in college aren't going to make the NBA.
Wow.
If you think about it, yeah.
That percentage. Ooh.
Oh, so this is stuff that I don't really get to talk about, but I love to talk about when we talk about sports and stuff like that. It's a gift and a curse because it'll have you. You know, I made money. I didn't make it to the NBA, but I'm a referee, college, high school, all of that stuff. I still have a big impact in the game of basketball. But you know, it definitely can have you go crazy, especially when you're done. Imagine playing a game from elementary school, middle school, high school, college. And then it's like, what's next?
Wow. So do a lot of these kids now go overseas?
Overseas isn't what it's cracked up to be either. You know, a lot of them.
It was at one point.
It was, but then the money's not right either. And then like in the NBA, they have guaranteed contracts. You know, you're getting $250 million guaranteed, whether you suck after the first year or not. Your money's guaranteed.
Right.
Like case in point, Ben Simmons is horrible. Like he played on the Brooklyn Nets. He was with Philadelphia and all that. They traded. He still owed that money. He signed another contract for a veteran's minimum, but the NBA, it's only 30 teams too. It's 460 players. It's 450 players only total, and that's a 15-man roster. But then the active roster is only 12 players.
Right.
So that's only 360 spots. So you're playing, the math don't be mathing, but everybody want to try to get there.
Like everybody want to be a rapper. It's just, the ball players want to be rappers, the rappers want to be ball players. It's just like, we're the doctors. We're the real estate gurus. We're the restaurant entrepreneurs.
That's a fact.
Teachers, you know what I'm saying? Like, the world is your, yes, I do forget. I forgot you are a teacher as well.
Teacher,
So I love the fact that your career is very well rounded. And shout out to my brother-in-law, also Terrence Rencher. He's a legend in the basketball game. All-time leading scorer at University of Texas at Austin.
Nice. And
now he is coaching in Corpus Christi, Texas.
Oh, fire.
Yeah.
That's fire.
Yeah.
We got to
Texas A&M.
And I know you, Jerry Stackhouse.
Yeah, shout out to Jay Stackhouse. Jerry Stackhouse. He is an assistant coach with the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah. Stack was a walking bucket.
Two family. E. Jones, Eric Jones. You know Eric Jones? He family too. Yeah.
The Harlem
Family.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's my guy. Shout out to E. Jones too. That's fire.
Terrence and E. Jones grew up together. They're best friends.
Okay. That's what's up. Learn something new every day. You know
every day.
Yeah.
So tell me, one thing I wanted to bring up too is the thing that attracted me to your organization was the branding.
Oh, yeah.
I love how you have been consistent with the logo, the flyers, the colors. You know what I mean?
I owe that to my boy.
The posting. I love that. Very professional, very on time, very precise. You know what I mean? And I remember when we agreed to work together, you be on me. I'd be like, I ain't got time, child. You know what I mean? But you are on it, you know what I mean? And you run this organization like a full-time job.
100%.
You know what I mean? And then you do that by night, and then by day you are a teacher. Tell them about what you do during the day.
So I'm a full-time teacher, PE teacher as well too. You know, and I try to implement my school into a lot of the stuff that I do, or the schools that I've worked for in the past and different things, or the schools that my mother worked for in the past as well. So I try to bridge the gap there. But I am a PE teacher. Everything sports. You know what I mean? Even my missions, peace through sports. So that's something I love. But you know, just always, even before that, being a sports specialist with the Harlem Children's Zone at New York Edge, right? SQPA in Queens, Roy Wilkins. You know, when you do something you love, it doesn't feel like work. Right.
Absolutely.
So you know, some people get mad. I get to go to work with like a hoodie and sweats and stuff like that. And but that's what I love, right? So you know, do better. Put yourself in a position that you want to be in. But you know, educating people, and that's why, like, even now when they talk about, you know, disbanding the DOE, and then it's like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, you know, so you need teachers, right? You can't go away from them. Imagine having no teachers, having nowhere to bring your kids, everybody was at home. How did that even work?
Right. Well, you know, as a professor also, I do tell my students that education does not ensure success.
100%.
But you do need the basics. You know
100%.
what I'm saying? You do need those.
So
you know?
somebody like myself, where everything is online now, learning, there's a lot of online learning. I've always been more of a visual learner, right? Somebody teaches me, shows me the ropes, tells me how to do things, and then I'm able to do it, right? You know, I'm teaching myself. If I'm watching something online and everything, it's like, did I really learn, right? Or am I just
I learned so much from YouTube.
Yeah, I do. I watch a lot of YouTube as well, too.
So much, yeah.
But I guess it's like in you to feel like somebody has to be there and instructing you to do such a you know, job and everything.
You know, that's an interesting takeaway from me. You know, because I have a client who learned a skill on YouTube, but it was perfected with an instructor. You know, so I agree.
So with those things, that's my day job. You know, I would love to be able to move full time into Ballin for Peace. A lot of people think that
weren't you doing Ballin for Peace full time for a while?
Nah.
What were you doing prior to being a PE teacher?
So I was a sub teacher.
Right.
So I used to just sub.
Right.
And before the pandemic, what happened with that? It was Ballin for Peace. I was kind of doing it the majority of the time, doing events, but before the pandemic, you know, it was just a lot. Like, you know, I was running around. I had like bags under my eyes. It was like, you know.
Then were you always at different schools subbing?
So I used to love to be at different schools.
Oh.
Because I like to be like Superman, come to different schools, Mr. H, and then like leave. Like,
and then they see
like,
you again like, oh, you're back.
So
the refreshing,
like
the freshman.
So, and then you never really had, you could never really get in trouble or anything. Like, you know, the principal, they can't, as a sub, it's like the best job ever, right? Because you're like, you know, you're the cool teacher, like, you know what I'm saying? And then for me, I love to meet new people, right? I love to talk. And then I'm also a DOE vendor.
Oh,
so
you are?
Yes.
So as a DOE vendor, what do you sell?
So we have our program. We have our sports program as well too, where it's like an intramural program that we push. A lot of these schools, what I found out, that they don't have PE. A lot of them don't have sports in their schools. Yeah.
Wow.
Or it's too many kids to, you know, kind of like for one PE teacher, right? So a lot of them aren't getting that, you know, that physical education. So what we did, even if you make your basketball team, right, and you like basketball, that's 12 players, 15 players max, right? What about all the other people who didn't make the team? So we started doing like in-house tournaments, right?
Where everyone could participate.
Everybody can participate in different sports: soccer, basketball, flag football, volleyball, right? Kickball. Wow. And that's what we do. So we
you making money.
We trying.
But
you know, we got to get more schools involved, right? So we're working with certain schools, and I don't have the time to really, like, if I had the time to dedicate just that into it would be amazing, right?
Yeah.
So you know, shout out to all the schools who have been rocking with us, and you know, this year we're going to make a conscious effort to doing more in school programming. You know, we have our proposals ready and everything like that. But as a sub teacher, I get to talk to this principal, talk to that principal, the AD here,
and keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
Yeah.
And kind of make those connections. So my role is
that's a blessing.
Yeah. So, but when COVID hit, it stopped all of that. And then one of the things with COVID, I was technically still employed,
right?
As a substitute, so I couldn't even get unemployment. It was a it was a crazy time. So that's when we were able to go back. I looked for a full-time job, and that's what I did. And,
Understood.
So that was that.
Understood.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Well, congratulations on the new addition to your family.
Yes.
Yes.
Baby A. Yep.
Shout out to baby A. Yes. How old is baby A now?
He's gonna be, well, when this comes out, he's gonna be 5 months.
5 months.
Yeah, so he's 5 months. So I'm a 5-month-old dad now.
Right? So, go ahead, Dad. Oh, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm so proud. I mean, I'm happy for you too.
Yes, and it was the blessing that I didn't know I needed. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
So it's super dope, super great. I love that little boy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna, my parenting ways is just gonna do everything that I wanted to have, communication wise. I wanted to talk every day to my dad. I wanted to show. I'm gonna overly love him. You know what I'm saying? I know how people, kind of push back on that. This is my stance. Maybe in 5 years, I'm kind of talking back a little different. But
do
like,
that.
This is what I love.
Do that.
You know what I'm saying?
My father definitely was an overly loving father, very affectionate. Stern, but affectionate. You 100%. Know what I mean? Yeah.
So I even now, I didn't even know. When he got to get his little shots and stuff like that, and he's crying, I was like, "Oh, don't touch my baby!" Like, it's like in your head, it's feelings and emotions that I never thought I would have.
Wow.
Or never thought I could have.
Wow.
Right? You know what I mean? So it's like, you don't know until you know.
Oh wow.
Right?
I don't have any biological children. What do you do? Feed them? Feed it?
Just like, what happens? What do you do? Yeah, of course. I feed them. I don't be changing all the diapers all the time. Shout out to his
balance
mama.
It out.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Shout out to his mama.
Yeah, shout out to baby A's mom. Hi.
Yes.
So prior to baby A, what was your motivation to keep going?
It was my mom. My mother taught me a lot. God rest
May
her
she rest in peace.
Yeah, yes. She embedded that into me, right? So this is why
to give back.
Like she used to. I saw it, right, and to the point I can't unsee it, right? I saw all the bad things that happened as well too, but these were the things that I wanted to do. Like my mother used to have. She worked as a teacher as well too, so that's why I always say parenting is very important. Right? Good or bad, right? I could have take all the bad things that I saw from my mother, and that's why I don't drink that much, right? I drink two drink max, and I'm not drinking. You know what I mean? My mother had some issues drinking and things like that. But if you ever heard me talk about my mother, it's like she was the perfect lady.
Yeah.
Right? In life, right?
Yeah.
Worked 25 years at Springfield Gardens High School. I do my high school tournaments at Springfield Gardens High School. She used to do basketball tournaments. I do basketball events. She puts events together. She used to putting on the hits. She was an actor. I did acting. Like my favorite ice cream is butter pecan ice cream because of my mother. Like
my dad's favorite ice cream is butter pecan. You know what my favorite ice cream is? It's butter pecan. Yeah. So
I ate a lot of the foods that she ate. So like that's why when she taught me this stuff, right? To give back. She used to have Rhonda's chicken den. So every Friday or something like that, her people used to come over, her co-workers, $5 plates, French fries and chicken wings and all that. You know how long ago that was because only $5.
Right.
But they all used to come to the house, watch the Tyson fight. So my mother was that person that brought everybody together. So seeing that as a kid, I wanted to do that, and I just kept it up. But now I even have a more of a bigger purpose to do that because I have my own boy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
He can pass that legacy on to him.
Yeah, he's gonna be leading.
He's gonna be running the Ballin for Peace.
He will.
Centers.
Yes, the peace centers.
The peace centers.
We're gonna have a couple more.
And every major, specifically Chocolate City, you know what I'm saying?
DC.
Not just Chocolate City, but just all over America, and not just limited to African American students either.
Everybody needs love. Everybody needs peace. Somebody asked me that question. Since I had my boy, would things be different? I'm gonna give these same children the same love that I would give my boy, but now I know how more impactful it is too, because I can feel it. So I would love to have somebody like me helping, my boy. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, yeah.
So it's just giving back, and it makes me look at other people differently. So there's men who have children who don't provide or don't help their kids or even their child's mom, it makes me look at you differently.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
weak.
So like, yeah, weak.
You know what I mean?
You're corny dude.
Yeah.
Every day is, you know, whether I'm gonna have it, right? Because I'm gonna make it, because it's just more motivation. You know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, tell everybody where they can locate you and tell them about the upcoming event and where they can get tickets. And
okay, so
like
you
that.
can get you can locate me at H2O5. That's the letter O, not 0. Ballin for Peace, BALLIN, the number 4, and the word peace. You go to ballinforpeace.org. NYC Elite 32, H2O Basketball, H2O Music _ like I got to give you all of that.
Yes.
But
give it to them.
Yeah, and our next event is June 14th. Again, June 14th. We're back at John Jay College. I love that space so much. We were able to.
I love that school.
To have the vendors inside.
Yeah, that was fun. That was nice. That was really nice.
We're bringing it back this year. There, June 14th.
I remember I did it with you last year. Yes. Yeah, that was the last time.
We're gonna get her back.
That was the last time I saw Corey Woods. Corey Woods, rest in peace. You know what I mean? We got to do something special for him.
We should definitely do that.
During that time, because that was his last pop-up shop. Yeah, it was his last public appearance. Was your event?
Yeah, he gave me the word, and we're going back and seeing some of the vendors and stuff like that. We're going around showing the vendors. He was the first one right there, so like it's hard
to. He was the first one. Yeah.
Even go and looking back at all the footage. Because we're going into like promo mode and and he's in all of it, so it's like
wow,
it's it's tough, so but it's crazy how that happened. Like the next day he hits me up, yo, I loved it, and then the next day after that you hit me up, and I'm like, wait.
Yeah, man.
So life is short,
Life is not promised.
It's not promised.
You got to show up and show out every single day.
100%.
You know what I mean? Give your all every single day.
That's a fact.
Well, we're gonna close. We're gonna do something different today. We're gonna close out with a prayer.
Okay.
Yeah. Father God, in the name of Jesus, your word says that when 2 or 3 come together to touch and agree, anything we ask in your name we shall receive. Father God, I decree and declare that Haron Hargrave is blessed. His community is blessed. H2O Basketball is blessed. Ballin for Peace is blessed. And I declare that you're blessed from the top of your head to the soles of your feet. And I declare nothing but favor over your life. For the word says that the Lord will grant you and your organization favor wherever you go. In Jesus' name, I thank you in advance for answered prayer and continued blessings. Amen.
Amen.
Yes.
Thank you.
And we are signing out. Hey.
Peace.